Hi artists, it's Miss Coon, and today we're going to create a pumpkin still life. Our I can statement today is I can integrate art vocabulary while planning and creating works of art. The words that we're going to use for vocabulary words today are composition, value, and overlapping, which are all art words that we've already talked about this year. We're going to quickly review them and then get started. Composition is an art vocabulary word that describes the way the elements of art are arranged in a work. So it discusses where things are within the picture. Overlapping describes what's in front and what's behind. It adds depth to your artwork. So the salt shaker is in front and the picture is in back. And value is when you add light and dark tones of the same hue. It shows where the light source is in your art. So in this picture, the light's coming from above, causing a reflection on top of the ball and a shadow on the table. Project today, you're going to need a white sheet of paper, a pencil, and some crayons. So let's get started. Okay, for our project today, you're going to have your paper turned horizontal, and we are going to overlap pumpkins in the still life drawing, and we're also going to create a variety of sizes. So I want to have a small, kind of a medium, and a large. I'm going to start with my small, and I'm going to pick either the left side or the right side and draw a small, skinny oval. And then I'll touch near the top of that oval and draw a bump on one side and a bump on the other side. And I could stop there, or if I want it to be a little bit wider, I can add another one on the left or the right. And you don't have to balance it, that's fine. So I've got one here, and I want to scoot back and draw one that's a little bit bigger on the opposite side. So I have a big oval, bump, bump, and I could stop there, or I could add two. And then I want one in the background. So I'm going to draw a large oval. It's going to go behind so that they're overlapping, creating depth in my picture. I'm going to go behind, down, and I may add one more on this side. So now I have three pumpkins that are three different sizes that are overlapping, creating depth. So there's one in the foreground, or two in the foreground, and one in the background. I'm going to add my stems, and you can draw those however you would like. I usually draw an oval with two little curved lines coming in and a few lines for texture. They don't have to be straight. You could also add vines or leaves if you wanted to on your stems. Now, right now my pumpkins are floating, and I don't want them to float in the air, so I'm going to draw kind of a squiggly line to show where the ground is. And then I'd like to add something in the sky in the background. Mine's going to be nighttime, so I'm going to draw a moon. I like a half moon, so I start with a C, the C shape inside of it, and I could add stars. Yours might be daytime, or maybe there's a barn or a fence or something else behind it. I'm also going to add just a few little squiggles to show grass in the foreground. So in my composition, I have a variety of sizes. I've overlapped my objects so that some are in the foreground and some are in the background. And then we're going to talk about color. So I'm using crayons to add color, and we talked about value as how light or how dark a color is. I'm going to pick out a couple of different values of orange. So I have a dark, kind of a middle, and a light orange, and I can also change the value by how hard I'm pressing down. Remember, I can take the same color and press really hard and then decrease the pressure to create a lighter version of this same one. So I'm going to flip it over. My light in my picture is going to come from my moon. So it's casting a light that comes down this way. So the lightest side of my pumpkin will be here, and the darker side will be this side. So I'll take my darkest orange, and I might go along these little creases because there would be a shadow here. And this would be the darkest side of my pumpkin. And this is a little bit closer, so it might be a little bit lighter. And I can add a little bit of this lighter value. I can mix it or blend it together here. And then the side that's closest to the moon would be my lightest orange. It's getting the most light. You might notice I'm kind of saving this area right here, and I'll talk about why in just a moment. But I'm adding my darkest orange is on the opposite side of my light. So if you drew a sun or a moon, your lightest side is going to be on the side of your light source, and your darkest side is going to be away from it. Now, because pumpkins curve down, they're rounded, this bottom half is going to be a little bit darker. So when I get here, I can increase the pressure. And this pumpkin would probably cause a little teeny bit of a shadow here. So that would be a little bit darker. So your only goal is to try to think about where the light would be shining in your picture and where the shadows would be. So I'm using value, which is how light or how dark a color is, to give clues about the light source in my picture. So I'm going to speed up my video and finish my other pumpkins.